Donnie B, GotDaBeats.
Hey everybody, welcome to a new episode of The Beat. I'm Donnie B, GotDaBeats, and we live on The Beat. And listen, man, we're gonna get straight into this thing, man. Today's guest I'm very fond of this dude. He's dope as hell. But we're gonna get into it. You know what time it is? It's time for that glorious intro, y'all. Check this out. So y'all know I travel, man. Y'all know I get around, and everywhere I touch down, I do my homework on the people that's moving and shaking. And this brother that got on today, man, I met a sister when I first moved out here named Jasmine, dope PR person and music mogul, music entertainment professional, and we have been rocking step ever since. I got nothing but love and respect for her, but then she put me on her brother, man, and the brother really dope music. He's a poet. He's an author. I mean, this brother encompasses the entire spectrum of entertainment, and it's just so remarkable to see. And I definitely want y'all to pay attention, stay tuned to what this brother's doing. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Today we got creative and socialite Chris Slatter. What's going on with you, Chris?
Yo, what's good? I'm blessed. Glory to God. In case anybody's wondering, I got like a show like right after this. That's the reason I'm outside and like you hear like a lot of people or whatnot. But yeah, thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. No worries. You know what I think is dope? I think it's dope that you like going straight to work right after this. Like as soon as you get out the green room here, you in the green room over there getting ready to do your thing, man. So that really goes to show what type of person you are, man. And that's really dope.
Yeah, man. Like one thing I really take pride in is my work ethic. Like I work myself to the bone, honestly, to where it really stresses me out, and I need to do better with that. But just with all the different things that I've been doing, like writing books, modeling, rapping, producing, I take pride in all that, and I'm really happy God blessed me with these tools to really express myself and reach out to the people.
Okay. Well, like I said, I mean, we gonna get into it. We got a bit of snippet of what you got out there, man. So we definitely gonna put that on blast too. Check you out. But again, listen, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tune in and chime in the comments. Let Chris know that you rocking with him right now, and we're gonna get this thing cracking, Chris. So, first question. Just who is Chris Siders? For people that don't know who Chris Siders is, man.
Chris Siders is creative. He just creates it, I literally did not wake up one day and just said, yo, I want to model, I want to like write books, I want to rap, I want to do all these different things. They just kind of just came about, and again, I really feel that God gave me all these tools for a purpose, and that purpose is to be a storyteller, to be a griot, and for example, like with my spoken word, I'm very abstract with how I paint a picture, and it's really emotional, it's really deep. And then when it comes to the rapping, it's very direct. But then, however, when you listen to these songs, like for example, lately that we're gonna get into later.
Yeah.
It's a song about insecurities in relationships.
Okay.
Have you really heard that in a rap song in 2022 like that? Talking about struggles with colorism, struggles with self-perception when it comes to like your weight
Right.
or different things to that extent, you know. And that's my aim as an artist, to really bring these different things to light as a young black man in South Central LA, because we don't
Mm.
really hear about these kind of stories in rap. So that's the mission.
Right, right, and I love that. I love that, and I love the openness to be able to just share, because a lot, and it's funny because I kind of put that side by side, if you don't mind me saying, with the Genius documentary with Kanye, how
Yeah.
you get to be able to just see how this brother is his perspective on entertainment and being different from everybody else. And then I can see the same kind of thing with you, and especially doing my homework, just that fearlessness, right? That just that drive to tell people just who you are and not worry about what people have to say about it. But also, like you said, be agreeable and share and kind of teach people about how they should be themselves. I think it's a stroke of genius, brother. It really is.
Man, thank you. And that's all due to my mom's, my dad, my grandmother, who was a Black Panther, like rest in peace, Dorothy Cider. Like, just, really been putting myself out there. It's been a struggle because with activism, my activism participation in Monterey County, that's what definitely like hone in this sense of being unapologetic.
Hmm.
Because like when you're on that front line, like there's really no turning back. Like you gotta stand on your own too.
Right.
And from there, it really led me to different places, like teaching in the Soledad Correctional Facility in the prison system for
Hmm.
a couple years, about deconstructing different systems of oppression. One being like patriarchy and rape culture, and because I was really heavily involved with women's rights as an ally,
Hmm.
and so participating in that, you really have to be on your p's and q's and really self-analyze yourself as to how you may have participated in that. And for me, how I participated in that was hyper masculinity in um, fighting a lot in middle school and high school, and it was to the point to where I almost got expelled from View Park Middle School and High School.
Hmm.
The principal was like, "All right, you're fighting too much, and if you fight again, you're gonna get expelled and sent to juvenile hall." So at that point in life, it was like a fork in the road. You could really let this anger consume you, or you could figure out another way. And then that's when poetry came into the picture and in these different outlets. So it just kind of just built up.
Hmm. Well, I love. First of all, I'm a big fan of vocabulary. It definitely tells you just the intelligence and the IQ of the person that you're talking to, right? And using words like hypermasculinity and stuff like that. That's just not. That's in the context of communication. You don't hear that word thrown around a lot. You know what I mean? But that's just an example of how you portray yourself. And I just wanted you to know that it speaks volumes, brother. You're a highly educated individual, and I can definitely tell just by the word you use. So kudos to you for that, man. Seriously,
Yeah, thank you, thank you,
no
appreciate
problem.
it.
Now we want to get on to the next question. Next question is you alluded to it, but we want to ask: growing up in, where did you grow up? What was it like for you there? And what obstacles did you face to overcome to become the person that you are today?
Honestly, it's really strange because like when I get asked this question, at first I say LA, and then I say South Central, and then I say Monterey County, and I say all these different answers for different reasons. One being, I was born in Harbor City, and then um, my family was in Inglewood, and then we moved to Lawndale, which is in the South Bay. But then I went to school in Inglewood in elementary school, and then from middle school and high school, I went to school at South Central, and I learned so many different things being in these environments. Like I learned how to be street smart in middle school and high school, what to say, what not to say, when to control your temper, because if you fly off at the mouth, somebody's gonna like knock your ass out.
Yeah,
so so then when it comes to that, um after graduating high school, I went to CSU Monterey Bay for college. And in Monterey County is when I learned how to be an adult and actually um, learn different lessons on what it means to be a man, what it means to really stand on your own too, again, when it comes to activism, um, and just how to communicate with people. So that's why I say, like, yeah, LA, South Central, South Bay, Monterey County. So these different areas make up who I am as a man right now.
well, okay. That's what it is. That's what it is. Now, next question. You also, and I'm definitely very interested in, like you said, your family member that was, a Panther. But who and or what were your inspirations? And talk to us a little bit about that.
My inspirations, my mom. My mom, she she's the epitome of an angel and just godsend. I remember like recently, I think it was like a year ago, we was on the freeway and there was a car crash. It was two young women in there, and she pulled over, and she's a public health nurse. She pulled over and like she put herself in harm's way trying to help these young women like get out the car and like check out their pulses, and called the ambulance, called the fire department, the firefighters, and we waited until they got there and pulled the women out of the car safely. And she was like, "Yo, this is just what it means to be human. We gotta like really help each other, because like if we don't do this, who's gonna do it? You know?"
Right.
And so that love and care that she provides to me as a kid and as an adult, and showing different examples, that is a huge inspiration to what I do right now as an artist. And also on top of that, like when it comes to the art of MCing, Fonte of Little Brother, I
Yeah.
studied his raps as a kid in high school. Lupe Fiasco, he rapped for 9 minutes straight, just straight bars on Tetsuo and Youth, this song called Mural. It's just amazing. Elzai, who was once part of Slum Village at a point. Um, who else? Kendrick Lamar, Schoolboy Q, West Side Boogie. All these different artists encompass like different styles that I use and try to create my own little thing. And same thing with Childish Gambino too, because with Childish Gambino, he's a Renaissance man. He acts, he writes, he directs. He's an amazing singer. He's an amazing rapper. He's a producer, and that's something that I want to do when it comes to self-expression. Like I said, like I've written a few books. I have 2 books out right now. I have a third one coming out in March. I have an album coming out in April. I produce my songs. I engineer my tracks. I'm do spoken word. Like I said, I'm about to perform spoken word after this. I model, and it's nude modeling on top of that, and I also do like clothing model. Like, so I just do everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey man, like first of all, congratulations on the many successes, and I love how you are a person that knows how to present themselves, because you to be able to do one thing well is amazing, but to be able to do multiple things and wear multiple hats and do all of those things well, again, like you said, Renaissance. You well on your way to the Renaissance. You know what I mean? As you said about Childish Gambino. I've always kind of identified with that. I try to be as much of a Renaissance person as I can as well, because I wear a lot of hats as well. But again, the fact that you see young brothers coming up that's doing it, I'm trying to tell you, I've had a lot of people on this show, and not a lot of them do everything that you do to the extent and level that you do it. So kudos to you, man. Seriously.
Thank, thank you. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. So, with that being said, how did you become a creative? I know we talked about it. I know you kind of dabbled in it, and I know you said when you went to college, that's where you learned how to be dope, as you said. Um, but when did you know? Like, what was the steps that that happened for you to turn on that switch to say, you know what, I'm doing this for a living. Like, this is what I do. Because even me, I do a lot of things, but I still got a day job. I still punch a clock. So I can't even really
Mm,
fully say that I am this, right? But
yeah.
for you to be that person and then wear all of those hats and do books and spoken word and everything, what steps did you go through in order, and what was that moment that you had that realization that I'm a creative, I can do all of these things?
So honestly, it's just having the nerve to do it and just
Mm,
saying like, here's something that my friend in college always told me. He was like, the greatest things in life come from just saying fuck it,
mm,
literally just saying fuck it. And so when it came to poetry, I saw my older brother Jamal Carter like really performing a lot with my mentor, my spoken word mentor, Mike the Poet, who's a LA historian. Shout out, Mike. Um, and I was like, yo, I want to do that. And so I just grew the nerve to like start writing every day. I picked up some books. I started reading T.S. Eliot, Percy Shelley. I picked up the Dead MC Scrolls by Saul Williams.
mm,
Um, and this is when I really started to study the works of like Lupe and Elzai and all those other MCs. So, and I definitely tried and tried and tried, and I definitely failed so many times. Like when I first started poetry, I auditioned for HBO's Brave New Voices, and they did not like me. Same thing with this other popular LA organization called Get Lit Words. They did not like me. And when I got to college, I was like, man, I'm gonna figure out something else because I don't think people would really dig what I have to say or what I do in the style that I do it. And it wasn't until a friend picked up an old journal book that I had, and it was like, man, this is dope. You need to like perform at an open mic. And I did that, and literally the rest was just history. Um, I literally wrote every single day. It didn't matter if it was just a line or two, if it was just a word or a concept to something or a title. I written something down every day in this little red notebook, and I prepared myself for all these monthly open mics. And sooner or later, um, I got hired to open up for like really big name acts like Rudy Francisco,
mm.
Shihan the Poet, um, Michael Reyes, Yasmin Monet Watkins, Massa Deal, and like and it just goes to show like you can't give up on yourself. And
Right.
there was even a point in my life where I was homeless. I was homeless after graduating college, and this is going into like the mental health aspect of things because I wasn't really taking care of myself. I was putting the needs of the community first before myself, and I was like, man, I still got to make this like poetry thing happen. And when that was going on, I was booking shows. Like my college was the first place to hire me to do a set, a 20-minute set for $400. And then from there, uh, other places started to hire me, like Dominican University, Menlo College, Stanford University.
Mm.
Um, and like last year, I did UCLA and Washington State University. And so, like, you got to keep grinding, you got to keep going, and you got to have the nerve to be like, yo, I'm gonna do this. When I did modeling, my first time modeling was in 2019, and it was really to explore different aspects of myself. And the photographer, she was a longtime friend of mine, and she was like, "Hey, I think it would be dope if you took off your underwear for the photo." And then I was like, And then I did it, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I felt good about it, um, and just this past summer, like I started to work with a photographer. His name is Edward Asayas. Shout out Edward. He um he does nude photography, and I've been working with him ever since, and just creating like just dope photography. So again, you gotta believe in yourself. You gotta have the nerve, and you can't let people get in the way of your greatness. Because
Mhm.
everybody has some form of greatness in front of them. You just gotta unlock that potential.
Right, right. I love that, and it's something I always fondly say too. It's like a lot of people, everybody got eyes on Superman, but nobody knows what it's like to don the cape. And if everybody donned the cape, Superman wouldn't be important. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So
Hmm.
I definitely understand where you're coming from, and I definitely agree. And sidebar, I gotta say, I wish I was about 10 years younger. Because back in my single days, I would have loved to have said that would have been one of my one-liners. You know, it would have been really dope if you just take your underwear off. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I gotta throw that out there, you know. But whatever. I love it. I love it. Switching the gears, man. What are your current aspirations and projects, man? Like, what are you currently working on? What are you currently aspiring for? I mean, you got so many things in the pipe, right? So, what are you currently like? What are you really just pushing for and aspiring to, and what projects do you have going
The projects that I have going on. Currently just getting the business right for this album.
on?
Can't release the title just yet. Y'all gonna have to wait a little more for that. But it's coming out in April. Uh, Literally been working on it for like a year. I got my master's. Like started working on it in January 2021. Got the master's December 2021. So like I I put my heart and soul in this, and it's full of different stories, different sounds. None of the songs sound the same,
Hmm.
and I think that's something that's missing in the state of hip hop today. Like everything kind of just sounds the same, subject matter is the same. So um, yeah, that's something I got going on. My book, Culture Shock, released through Booker Press, Monterey County, coming out March. And I'm going on tour in April, West Coast tour, Las Vegas, Humboldt, San Francisco, Oakland, um, uh, Portland, Seattle, Los Angeles, Monterey County. Um, what else I got going on? I have a short story series with the Cultural Daily, just about like different college stories, like just crazy shit. Because I feel like people have this like perception of me that I'm just like a dark individual where like I don't know how to have fun, or I'm just always thinking dark thoughts. So
Hmm.
I'm giving the people like another side of me that's more lighthearted and just hilarious. So um, I have some stories out right now through the Cultural Daily. I'm still writing for them, and yeah,
That's awesome, man. I love the fact that you have so many things in the works, and I don't need to say that negatively, because a lot of people, you deal with people who say, well, you do this, well, just do that, you know what I mean? Because you do too much,
yeah.
But the fact that you have so many things in the chamber, and that you work and you stay busy, man, that's cool. I'm interested to see where this goes. I want to see the end game, because if not more than anything else, I want to be like, see, I had him on the beat a long time ago. See, people back home don't wouldn't believe that I know this guy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah.
know you. They. But I wish you nothing but the best in success and everything that you do, brother. Like, I just love the crown that you wear, man. Like, you are really owning your shit, and I love it. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Thank
Uh, so we want to go through this feature.
you. Yeah.
The feature is lately. Tell us a little bit about lately. How did that come together?
So lately, you know what? We're all about honesty here, so I'm gonna be like 110% honest with everyone. there was someone that I had like a huge thing for during the time I was homeless in Monterey, and um, I kind of felt a little slighted in different things like that. So the song is about this individual, but like I'm not trying to direct it in the sense of like I'm speaking ill of them. I'm trying to direct the energy in the sense of my own insecurities, because at the end of the day, like when conflict arises, it arises in the form of our own insecurities and our own projections on other people.
Yes, sir.
So when it came to the relationship with this individual, I was kind of scared to move forward with certain things because of how I look, the 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 um the melanin that I carry, the and my mental blockages of being falsely accused of sexual harassment when I was in college, um and the fear of intimacy. So yeah, with this song lately, it's all about, man, I'm like, you've been in my mind like so much. I don't know how to like really express this to you because I have so much trauma built up.
Mhm.
And yeah, so I made the beat January 2021, and I met Nana Razaya. Shout out Nana. The same summer I started to model
Mhm.
at a performance, and I heard some of her songs. I'm like, yo, she's dope. I think she would definitely sound good on this. And she gave me exactly what I wanted. She sounded like Erica Badu with a new 2022 flair. She's just fucking amazing. And yeah, that's pretty much how the song kind of came about. It kind of came about in like a month or two. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, cool. I'll tell you what. I want you to bring this video in. Okay. I want you to the intro. I mean, just bring it in. Just tell her, they put the title. Say who shot the video. It's produced by you, so I mean, we already know what time that is. Did you do the video too? We gotta ask you this. 2022, brother, and you talented.
Yeah,
But I want you to bring it in. You do that for me.
yeah. Yo, it's your boy Chris Siders. Uh, lately featuring Nana Rosario, shot by the homie Shelby Adair. Um, uh, yo, y'all just amazing. Thank you so much. Mixed and mastered by Nemesis Rigby. Song mixed and mastered by Nemesis Rigby. I
Hey.
love everybody. Um, let's bring it in lately off the new album coming out in April.
And that's what it is, man. You already heard it first. Chris Siders with Lately. Here we go. Check this out.
Goddamn, sent from the heavens, God bless the damn. Running so quick and sleep beneath the sand. With my bones to blossom your cranium. Whoa. Romanticize a trauma bond. Fucked up thoughts like this love won't get far. Being fat, black and ugly on my shining scars. To glare in your eye, darling. No self-confidence to bring the peace and to shoot the shot. Give me the run around like dodging cops. All beat to the fears that this heartbreak bring. You sex to rediscover what's buried in the sea. You stay in my mind so often lately. Can't shake the fact how you did me shady. Can't shake the fact how you did me shady. Damn.
Cause lately I've been struggling with not having you part of the plan. Lately I've been strung out on the drugs you gave me, hooked on all the love you gave me, like LSD, like ecstasy. That one time I took it while you were on my mind, and I'm still high.
Fuck this game of tug of war. My Pisces moon fill my wall of cups, swinging swords. Add up my pinnacles, cynical to the love courts of my Libra scale. What's brewed in heaven became my hell. Tell me who I could talk to about my dreams. Who could soothe my bruises from this ecstasy? Pain comes in many forms I'm addicted to. As long as you blossom in my mind lately, I yearn to say that I love you. And only you. You. And only you. Only you.
Let go, ego. I'm doing what I can because lately I've been struggling with not having you part of the plan. Lately I've been looking for the answers all around me. Even when I'm high, I see you clearly, and I can't explain how I feel. You are more than real.
These intrusive thoughts all started with words I lost, found on the tips of fingers, tongues, turning stomachs to rumble, butterflies that lie on the grapevine drunk. Not enough rap could clear the cluster, but holding midsummers or Paul Saunders or dawn. A poltergeist riveting dust sounded too fast and burned amongst the language I cups. Engulfed corpses, then plucked flowers bashfully, smelling them in the morning rush. Prove oneself not as fragile as rose-colored skies that crack glass ceilings. I continue to swipe crystals off the floor to court my melancholy joy, avoiding conflict unprecedented.
Revolving eras quickly upended.
Lately, you've been on my mind.
Man, that joint smoking, bro. Like the fact that you like the styles on it is crazy. The spoken word is crazy. You did the beat too, right?
Yeah.
I just need an autograph. I just need one in my collection. You know, because like I said, people back home ain't gonna believe that I know you. You know what I'm saying?
Man, thank you. I'm really glad that you enjoyed it, man. That, like, again, like everything about that song and the video encompass a sense of, like, putting out insecurities. Like, as you can see, like from the video, like I was way bigger. I was like 272 pounds. I'm 185 now, and that was last summer. Hasn't been a year yet. So I just want people to be, more comfortable about themselves, the skin that they're in, and there's nothing wrong with, like, confronting your insecurities and looking at it in the eye. And because the world just tells us, like, you're weak because you have insecurities, you're this and that. But then everybody has some kind of form of insecurities that they're going through currently. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I've been going through something recently where, like, I've been kind of viewing myself as like a monster or like just a horrible human being because of the certain things that I've been through when it comes to inflicting violence on others when I was in high school. And some of the different things that I went through in college, like I said earlier, of being falsely accused of sexual assault, and later come to find out this person like dropped the charges just to fuck with me, and just as a black man and this being a white woman, like already, and this was the same summer or the same year when that Netflix documentary, When They See Us, came out. It was around that time, and so it's I think it's very important for us to confront ourselves, and also give everything to God, because we can't figure everything out ourselves. We really can't. We're just going to stress ourselves out.
I agree 1000%, brother. And it's unfortunate that you got through it, but I'm blessed and happy for you that you made it through. Seriously, because there's a lot. Let's face it. Let's face it. There's a lot of people that go through that don't make it out of that in a good way. You know what I mean? and definitely have had their lives changed for the worse off of false accusations and so forth and so on, just because people are spiteful, So kudos again to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Outside of that, though, speaking specifically to that point, what are and were your biggest obstacles in establishing yourself in the industry?
So some of my biggest obstacles has been like my style and like my subject matter, because certain things that I've been through navigating like the spoken word industry and the rap industry has always been like, yo, yo, you're so complex, like I can't understand you, you like, and like my diction is like not like ordinary, like, or the same like as any other rapper, or my style, how I perform as a poet is not the same as any other like style as any other poet. For example, there's a really well-known like LA poet who's like out there, and I performed with him one time, and he was like, yo, like you dope and whatnot, but like this style that you have, or this like little flow, like it ain't gonna catch people's ears, and and he like kind of shot me down. This is when I was in college, and I said, fuck that, I'm gonna still do my style. And years later, I'm getting paid for what I do. I have people calling me up 3 days before a performance for them to like drop a bag on me and fly me like round trip. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I always say, like, stick to your guns, stick to what you believe in yourself, put God first, and you will never be led astray. I guarantee you that.
Right. Well, definitely not you, brother, because definitely you, because you that guy. You know what I mean? Again, you show it. The proof is in the wall. You know what I mean? And everything that you left in your wake is just examples of why you're dope. You know what I mean? And that's just the, and I love the fact that you the humility with you, that you keep it with you. But let's be realistic, bro. You do a lot of stuff that a lot of people can't do or don't do. So, again, just take solace in that and understand that, man. Seriously.
No, I'm definitely like grateful for that. And something that I be like telling people like a lot is like, yo, you can do everything I do. Like, I'm just like, I'm not trying to like put myself on a pedestal or like put me as like some holy godly spirit. Like, yo, I sin. Like, I did a lot of bad shit, and I still do a lot of bad shit. But like the point of it all is that everybody could do what they desire to do. And like, there's not enough people telling other people you can make it. You have dreams to achieve your dreams. It's just all about pushing. And once you push and have that work ethic and have that nerve, you could cause a lot of damage. You could do a lot.
Right. That's real, brother. That's real. So what do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, touring around the world, showing my parents the world. Like, I want to show my moms, my dad, my sister, like different parts of the world. Like, and I know with myself, like, I really only been outside of like LA for Monterey County. There was one time I went to New York when I was in the 8th grade, but I was like too young to really remember or really appreciate it. The only story that I have of being in New York was when I went into Foot Action, and there was a lady. She was like, "Oh, I can tell you're not from around here. Where you from?" And this was in Harlem. She was like, "Where you from?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm from LA." And then she was like, "Damn, I was just asking where you from." I'm like, "What you coming at me like that for?" So, but the whole point of it is, yeah, I want to show my family, my folks, the world through this art and music, and I want to like pass these stories down to my kids and show that you could really, again, do what you set out to do, and you could be really successful at it. It could take you to different places that you never even dreamed of or imagined, And so that's where I see myself in the next 5 years. And yeah, really making a living off of this art and making an impact. That's something I tell myself every day. I will change Los Angeles forever through my art.
I love
Best
it.
believe that.
I
Best
love it.
believe that.
Okay, I'm sure we gonna see. We're gonna look back in 5 years and be like, he did say it. He did say it. You know, so kudos, man. Again, kudos. Seriously, man. I love what you're putting down, man. Seriously, I really do. So, you know what? I do want to. I want to pivot real quick because I was gonna go straight to the hot topic, but I want to ask the philanthropy. You said you do philanthropy work and activism.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit too, so for those that don't know, that you put in the work on that department.
Okay, so when it came to like activism, I kind of fell into it again. Like when it came to all these different artistic mediums and whatnot, like I never woke up one day and was just like, I want to do this. It just kind of just fell in my lap. Like with poetry, it fell in my lap because I needed some kind of positive outlet to get all this anger and anxiety and this PTSD out. And the PTSD that I got in high school was when I got robbed at gunpoint by 3 gang members, and I was 12 years old. And I was just always mad, and I was always like getting into fights. I wasn't picking fights with anybody, but it just kind of happened like that. Right. So with the activism work, going back to that, I was in a show called The Mending Monologues, and The Mending Monologues is like a little brother to this other show called The Vagina Monologues, and it's geared towards women, and it talks about sexual assault, sexual violence, gender violence, and so with The Mending Monologues, it's inclusive to all genders, and so being in that my first year of college, that's when I learned the concept of hypermasculinity and how the gang shit that's going on out here in LA is all based in hypermasculinity. It's all who's the biggest person, who could like fight, who has like the biggest chain, who has the baddest girl, this, that, and the third. So my mission of how I'm gonna change Los Angeles forever, I'm gonna bring Mending Monologues to Los Angeles for young black men to understand the different things that we're doing that contribute to this culture of hypermasculinity and patriarchy and rape culture and different things like that. And I want to start like probably like 8th grade and up. Go to these different schools. Go to Park High. Go to Crenshaw High. Go to Fremont. Go to George Washington. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, go all around South Central, and then we could get that education of, you know, what it means to respect a woman, what it means to feel our emotions, because that's something that we like, you know, that we really need as men. Like, we haven't really been taught how important it is to really feel our emotions and be emotionally intelligent, you know, so, and to respond versus reacting. So yeah, that's pretty much like the main focal point of the type of work that I've done in terms of activism. Again, it got me into different places of teaching in the prison system. I had my own newspaper column, and it won some awards. And I did a lot of student activism. My black graduation, I said, fuck the president, fuck everybody in the cabinet. I had a lot of nerve, and I still have a lot of nerve. And it's still, if I'm gonna be honest, it's still fuck those people. Like, cause like how they've been treated, how they treated black students, such as myself. I've seen the effects of how it affected my peers. Like, I don't like that. So yeah, that's pretty much the main focal point of the work that I do.
Impressive, brother. Impressive. I definitely just wanted to capture that tidbit. Because you spoke on everything else, but you spoke very lightly on that. So I just wanted to make sure that we that. Let people know you out here in these streets, man. We're live. So put that down. I definitely want to get on to the next section for hot topics. We're gonna hit that slightly and then get you out so we can get you on stage. I know that's more, that's important. You know what I mean? So let's question hot topics. Give me a second. Let me go. Where are the hot topics? Here we go. So, Chris, we got hot topics. Hot topics are random questions that are designed for viewers to know who you are through these random questions. We want to get through these questions, make them keep it light, keep it fun, and just see what we got. All right. First question: 3 things you didn't know. What's 3 things that the world does not know about Chris Siders, or 3 things that you want to clarify that people got there and still just get it wrong with you?
Okay, 3 things. I am a nerd. Like, yo, I'm a super nerd. I watch as a kid, like I didn't do anything but watch anime and play video games all day. It was so hard for me to go outside or like to get me to go outside and like play basketball and shit. So yeah, super nerd. Um I embarrass myself a lot.
Okay.
Like for example, in the 7th grade, no, not 7th grade, the 8th grade, there was a girl that I had a crush on, and I went to her birthday party, and somehow, like, I got caught on fire, and then everybody was like, "Chris, you're on fire," and I thought people was like trying to tease me and shit, like for my dance moves or whatnot, but they was like, "No, like you're really on fire," and I look behind me, I'm there's flames coming off the back of my shirt, and so I just stopped, drop, and roll. And I was like, "Yo, not in the grass, you dumbass! Like you gonna catch everything on fire." So that's one thing. That's another thing. The other thing is that I'm actually really nervous before I go up on stage, and people kind of think like I rule everything with an iron fist when I go up on stage, or I'm just like fearless, but that's not the case. Like I have major anxiety before I go up, and there's something that a poet told me last year, like, yo, when you have anxiety or nervous about something, it just means that you care.
Right.
And I care about providing the best experience and the best performance I could give possible. So yeah, those are 3 things.
That's awesome. You know, it's funny. I too get nervous before I go on stage. The one thing I do though that helps that has always helped to center me is I always find the person in the crowd that looks like they least enthused with me, and I lock right in on them. I lock straight in on them, and even if I gotta get down off stage and get in their face while I got the mic and I'm doing my thing, I'm doing the thing right in their face. You're not gonna move me, and from that's helped me for I don't know 15 plus years now. You know what I mean? And it's just something that I look forward to. So I don't know. Maybe that'll work for you. Maybe it don't. But that's just listen to what you experience. I figured that I'd share that too, because that I too feel the same way. You know what I mean? So, that's cool. Okay, cool. Thanks for sharing your 3 things. We can get to the next joint. Next joint is Netflix. What's on your visual playlist that you watching right now? It don't have to be just Netflix. It could be Disney Plus. It could be Hulu. And everything. Peacock. Anything going thing. What are you watching?
Man, I'm on that new season of Snowfall, man. Season 5 just dropped, man. Forget everything, man. Snowfall is the craziest fucking show. So Snowfall, this foreign show called Girl from Nowhere. Girl from Nowhere is such a mind fuck. I highly recommend it. It does have like a lot of like wild stuff in there, so just warning everybody. Cobra Kai is hilarious. This show called You is like wild too. And then the Kanye documentary, I watched part 1 last night, and man, that got me so emotional. Like especially the scenes with his mom.
Yeah.
Like just seeing how much she was like a huge inspiration to him in the relationship that they had together, and it's just it's really gut wrenching. Like, so yeah, those are some things that I've been watching.
Yeah. I would if I may, let me throw out there Yellow Jackets. If you ain't seen Yellow Jackets is crazy right now. Like I
Yellow
literally
Jackets.
I just finished watching season 1, yo. It's different. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just different. So at least give it three episodes, yo. You might like it because I'm kind of floored with it. Me and the missus was watching it and we were just like, this is dope. So check it out. Last question in the hot topic section is my playlist popping. What's on your audio playlist that got you, gives you muse or gives you the courage to do what you need to do, or just draw inspiration from, or just put you in a sedative state as to where you can kind of just zone out? What's on your playlist, your audio playlist?
Man, to zone out and really like to be pensive, like that Isaiah Rashad, The House is Burning. That man, Isaiah Rashad definitely been like one of my favorite artists, but it took me a while to like really get into The House is Burning. But some of the emotions and the style and the aesthetics he put into that project is just amazing. And this song called Donuts, it's off the deluxe edition of it. It just put me in like such an emotional state, because like the chorus he said, feet don't let me down, I'm dead, and feet don't let me down, I'm dead. And it's just like that whole conscious of like, man, I gotta keep going. And so that song in particular, that album, fantastic. Larry June, Something Gotta Change, that is my anthem. Nas's Speechless off that Magic project that came out in December. And To Pimp a Butterfly still gets like bump in the whip. That's still my favorite album of all time so far. I remember when that album came out. That album came out when I was actually falsely accused. So like just the headspace I was in alone. So what else? Oh, and Nipsey Hussle's that's how I knew. That the affirmations that he put into that song, I'm gutta, I'm genius, and like all those different things that encompasses him, and to really believe that he's that guy that I will make it, I will make something out of this. Like those songs in particular, like I've been playing a lot.
Okay. That's a dope list. Make sure you guys check that out. Everything that he said, take a listen to it if you're not familiar with it. He's definitely a very talented individual. So make sure you draw that music as well. Maybe it'll enlighten you and wake you up as well, man. I definitely want to throw out. I had to remove one of the questions for time because, again, I'm trying to be respectful because I know you got a show to do and everything like that. The next question I want to ask is, what are your thoughts on the today's entertainment industry? Being the fact that you have impact in a lot of different perspectives in a lot of different ways because you're so talented. What are your thoughts on today's entertainment industry and how you impacted, or how it affects you, or so forth and so
on? Today's industry, I think we're lacking a lot of original storytelling. I really feel that we really need to get back to the roots of being griots, because that's what we're here to do. Like at the end of the day, like it's fun to be like, making these records and whatnot and like have fun to it. But these records, they also tell stories, and that's very important. Like artists like Joyner Lucas that been popping for like the past 5 years, like coming out with songs about like suicide and talking about abortion and different things like that. Like he even had this like crazy song and video idea called Keep It 100, where it's talking about the life of a $100 bill going from hand to hand, and like the perspective of what this $100 bill sees. That's so unique. And with this album, again, like I plan to really bring back storytelling to the focal point of rap and to, you know, entertainment. There's a song that I have on this project called What They Hitting For / War Cries Fade. And this song talks about my my cousin getting caught up in a shootout and while I was in Monterey County, and that survivor's remorse because that night I just got done opening up for Michael Reyes and I called home. I'm like, "Yo, we on," da, 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 da. And then he was like, I asked him, I was like, "Yo, how was your day? Everything cool?" And he was like, "Man, like there was this crazy shootout. Like I just dodged." I was like, "Yo, that's wild." So the first half of the song, the what they're hitting for part is more about his perspective and like dodging the bullets and that anxiety of like, man, I gotta make it through this. I gotta see this through. And then on the back end of it, the War Cries Faith part is about that survivor's remorse of like, man, I'm in college, I'm in Monterey, and like you stuck down here in South Central with all this crazy shit going on. So yeah, again, like just bringing back storytelling. I think that's something that's missing: the authenticity, the honesty, being honest with self, being vulnerable. Like people fear vulnerability, so then we always put on like this persona, and you know, yeah, like we have different sides of ourselves, but we got to showcase that. We got to showcase all these different sides of ourselves. It's okay to be the player, but it's also okay to be a secure person, you know,
Right.
and to show that.
Right. That makes sense. That makes sense, and I appreciate your perspective on that. But more attention needs to be laid at people's feet with that. You know what I mean? And understanding just what part they have to play in opening that kind of game up and that whole presence of mind, like you said, of just being vulnerable. Because everybody wants to protect themselves, relationships, friendships, business relationships, so the whole nine. We just got to protect ourselves because we don't want to look weak. Or we don't want to be stupid and you know what I mean, or look stupid or whatever. But you know, some of the freest minds and freest individuals out there are people that are vulnerable and not scared to be vulnerable. You know what I mean? So I agree with that, and I appreciate that, man. I definitely do. Last two questions. What's your advice for aspiring talent, young entrepreneurs, young creatives, uh, book writers, spoken word professionals, rappers, MCs, music producers? I mean, you run the whole, like your list is so diverse, brother. Like your portfolio is crazy. But what advice do you have for young people that are aspiring to be like you?
Have the nerve. Have the nerve. Don't give up. You are going to fail at a point. There is going to come a point where you're going to fail, but don't get discouraged by that fail. Use that fail as a lesson, and once you utilize that as a lesson, then you're going to fail again. But then you have more lessons under your belt, and you understand what to do and what not to do. And you know, just keep going, even if shit gets bad. Again, like I was homeless and I didn't have a damn dollar to my name. I had 2 jobs. I lost 1 job, and I was harassed by the police. Like I had so many different things going against me, but I still kept this thing going. I still kept it going, and I had the nerve to say, "Nah, I'm gonna book these shows. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that." And you just gotta believe in yourself. And everybody has that potential. Everybody has that ability to believe in themselves, and keep going.
I respect that, man. I respect that wholeheartedly. All right. Lastly, how can people learn more about you, man? Like, feel free to drop social media links, websites. If you got any shout outs out there that you want to shout out people. I mean, you've been doing it throughout the interview anyway, but you can feel free to do it again. This is your time to give the love back.
Man, follow me on Instagram at the Chris Chris Siders Siders. All that's one word on Instagram. Again, that is at the Chrissiders. You can follow me on Facebook. Feel free to add me. It's just Christopher Ciders. It's pretty easy to find me on there.
Okay.
My email is chrisjciders@gmail.com. Book me. I'm always open to like different bookings. Whether if it's going to your college, going to your wedding, or wherever the case is. Let's make it happen. Shout out to the 831 Lifestyle crew in Monterey County. Shout out to my big sister Jasmine Sweets. Shout out to Shelby. Shout out to Nana Rosaya. Shout out to Edward. Shit. Shout out to the homies. Shout out to Kill the Poet because they got me performing here tonight in Long Beach. And then just shout out to everybody that really believed in me. Like I really do appreciate that. And most importantly, man, shout out to
I love the suspense. The suspense is killing me. This is awesome, man. Getting professionals on like Chris is what we try to do here at the Beat, man. Young entrepreneurs, young aspiring talent, and people that are really in the streets, doing their thing and developing this thing. Here you go. We're welcome them back. Welcome back. Is it one more thing and click and scene?
Man, nah, we gonna get this in. That one last thing was shout out to God. None of this would be possible without God. Man, God got me through this COVID scare because I had a near-death experience. I literally blacked out in the hospital September 2020. My body was unresponsive. Only saw pink, white, and blue lights, and I don't know how long I was out. And I came back to life, and that was God. That's all God. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be here. So shout out to God.
Amen to that. That's the way you can't forget that OG. That's the OG. You don't wanna forget that one. Yeah.
Of course. Internet trying to play me, man. Like
Facts that, man. Listen, it's been a pleasure to have you on, Chris. Like I said, I marvel at everything that you put down. The pen that you put to paper, brother. Like everything that you put out has been unique. It has been totally your own, and I have nothing but the utmost respect for you. I wish you nothing but the best. If I could be of any service, assistance, feel free to get my info from your sister. And we'll connect, man. Like I said, if I can help you, I'll help you bridge the gap, man. But I'm just thankful for a brother like you. The world needs more brothers like you. Unapologetic, but unapologetically you.
Man, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. And same thing with you. Like, if you need anything at all, let me know. And I'm sure my sister will be happy to assist. And yo, thank you for the platform. Thank you, the Beat. Appreciate it. Man, much love.
No doubt. Much appreciated, brother. And with that being said, I'm gonna let you get back to killing them on the stage. But like I said, with that being said, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Chris Siders on all social media. Make sure you patronize that brother, man. Whatever performances you get, I'm sure he's gonna knock him dead. I'm sure he's gonna send him. You know what I mean? Look out and get his books. Get the poetry, the whole nine. This brother's out here working. Like, you gotta say it 2 times because it's real. Okay, so he working. So make sure you support him. But anyway, it's all love, brother. You be easy. I'm Donnie B. Got the beat. We live on the beat, and we out just like that.
Love.
Peace.